everyone, my name is Cassie and welcome to my channel. I talk about all things social media and entrepreneurship, so if that's something that interests you, I highly recommend you subscribe. But if not, that's totally fine. We can just chill out today. Today's video is more of a story. I'm going to be talking about how I became a social media manager. And without further ado, let's get into it. So this story begins all the way back when I was in grade 12, which was in 2017. It's a long time ago. So in grade 12, I started looking at universities and different programs that I wanted to go into. And like many of us back then, I'm pretty sure that you're thinking more about what jobs get you the most money rather than what jobs you might actually enjoy. So funny enough, I wanted to become a doctor, but I am so bad with human fluids and surgery and all that stuff. So I don't know what I was thinking, but I studied extra hard to get into these science programs. I ended up doing pretty well. Graduated from high school, I got into all the universities I applied to, which was literally 3. I applied to UBC, SFU, and UVic, and I ended up picking SFU for their health science program. So my parents were really proud of me. I was really proud of me. I was already celebrating. Woo! I got into this health science program at this university that my dad went to. I'm so smart. I'm on the right path. Well, I get to SFU, so now this is 2018, and it was just a crazy experience because I went from sitting in a classroom of 30 people to sitting in an auditorium where there was 350 people, and I just couldn't learn anything in that lecture environment. I was very intimidated by my TAs. I was just intimidated by university in general. My first semester, I actually took biology, but it was biology about plants, and I didn't really enjoy the class at all. I remember we were on a nature walk, and my professor stops us all and he starts asking us random questions about plants. And he stops and he looks at me and he's like, okay, you, tell me, is this fern a female or a male? So I knew right then and there, this is not for me. I'm going down the wrong path. I finished that semester. I took cognitive science, biology, and health sciences. I didn't pass biology, but I passed the other 2. So then I was like, okay, I'm on the wrong path, as many first years are. So I'm just gonna take a class from every single faculty and I'll find which faculty I like. So my next semester, I ended up taking criminology, philosophy, Spanish. Then my mind was like, I hate this school. No offense to SFU. University was just not the environment for me, so I dropped out and my parents were not happy at all. My parents highly discouraged gap years and taking breaks from school, so I ended up enrolling in a college that was in downtown Vancouver. This college was about entrepreneurship. So this is 2019 at this point. So 2019 comes around and I'm at this new college. There was this 2-year program about business management, but I didn't want to be in school anymore, so I took this 2-year program in 1 year. So at the school, I studied accounting, marketing, coding, website building. I just learned a lot of business topics in a short amount of time. Some classes were a little more challenging than the others. My professors were really good. They really made sure to get to know all of their students since this was a smaller school. They were all really nice and they all offered a helping hand whenever we were struggling. They always offered to review our resumes and they always wrote us recommendation letters and stuff. They were really great. It was a really good school. So to graduate from this school, you need to create a business. That is your grad project. You need to create a business plan, present it to the class, explain what your business is about, how much money you need to start it up, how much money you need to dedicate to certain areas of your business in order for it to grow, if you need to rent a space, all that kind of stuff. Funny enough, My grad project was based around a social media management agency. So I did all the research on like how to start one up, which is hilarious, by the way, because it definitely foreshadows my future, but also at the time I wanted to be an event planner. So I don't know what got into me, why I didn't think of an event planning agency. I was like, okay, I'm gonna stray off completely from what I plan on doing in the future, and I'm just gonna do this like social media management agency. So I presented to the class and my professor is like, that is so good. You should start that in real life. I was like laughing. I'm like, he's just gassing me up. He doesn't actually mean it. So I graduate. After I graduated, I actually did an internship at an event planning firm, and guess what? I didn't like it. And then boom, the pandemic hits. So now it is 2020. I go into the pandemic, I'm like, okay, so I tried university, I tried every single program from every single faculty, I went to a new school, I thought I liked event planning, now I don't like it, now I don't know what to do. So I actually took 2020 to slow things down and figure out what I wanted, not what my parents wanted, not what society made look glamorous. I needed to sit down and figure out what I wanted to do. At this point, I was like, if I want to be a hairdresser, I'm gonna be a hairdresser. If I want to be a pilot, I'm gonna be a pilot. Any career option was basically an option, except for a plant biologist. I could never do that. I dedicated the beginning of 2020 to better my mental health because grade 11 and 12 and university completely deteriorated my mental health. I dedicated many months to building back up my self-confidence. I also used 2020 to educate myself more on entrepreneurship because I realized that maybe I'm not meant to work for someone else. I really didn't like the idea of being in the same place 9 to 5 every single week because something that my body and my mind doesn't like is repetition. It just doesn't feel right for me. The reason I felt so lost was I'm a 20-year-old girl who genuinely feels like she needs to do her own thing, work for herself, be her own boss, but everyone around me is telling me that it's not possible. So I feel like I need to do work that I don't want to do. Does that make sense? That's what I realized in 2020. To also keep myself from going crazy, I had to pick up a hobby that I could do at home since we were all in lockdown. So I bought a sewing machine. Just, you know, I've never sewn before. I've never wanted to sew before. I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy one. Like, I don't even know where that idea came from. I buy my sewing machine. I don't even have any materials to work with. So my great idea was, okay, I'm gonna use paper. I'm gonna use clothes that I don't use anymore. I'm just gonna use plastic bags, literally whatever I can find. I'm just gonna use whatever and start sewing. If you actually look down at my previous videos, my YouTube channel initially started off as a sewing channel. It's not a sewing channel anymore. It is a social media channel now. I started sewing with all this random stuff and I started making videos and taking photos of my creations, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna share it on Instagram because why not? So I share my creations on Instagram and they blow up. So many people were like, oh my god, that's so crazy. You made that out of a bed sheet? Oh my god, you made that out of a shower curtain? Can I buy it from you? Can I buy it from you? And I was like, you guys want to buy my stuff? So I started thinking like, oh my god, like I actually know how to turn this into a business, but am I capable? Do I believe in myself? I just keep sharing my creations for fun because I'm trying to figure out if I want to turn it into a business. I mean, I literally just taught myself how to sew. Like, I've only been sewing for like 3 months. Crazy enough, I turned an Aldo bag into a corset, and Nava Rose commented on that photo. So if you check out my Instagram, she commented on it and I died. And then that was my sign. I was like, okay, I'm gonna turn this into a business. Why not? So I register my business. I don't tell any friends. I don't tell my parents, nothing. So I register my very first business as Paz Upcycled Fashion, my middle name. So in around the end of March, my business, Paz Upcycled Fashion, has been created. I'm starting to create products in bulk. I'm just one person though, so I can't make that much in like such a short amount of time. So my first collection was denim bucket hats. So they were bucket hats made out of jeans. Oh, also forgot to mention, my whole business was about turning old things into new, modernized, sustainable pieces. So I turned jeans that I no longer wore, or like jeans that were donated to me because people were donating their old stuff to me. I took all that stuff, washed it, and I upcycled it into all these new things like bucket hats, purses, tops, corsets, literally like anything. So I started posting my things on TikTok, Instagram, and it blew up. My first video that went viral was the one about a zipper scrunchie. It was a scrunchie with a zipper, so a hidden pocket, and you could hide stuff in it. And the reason it went viral was because everyone was commenting about how they wanted to hide their blunts and stuff in there. So that was not the intention of my video, but c'est la vie. So I launched my first collection. It sells out in 24 hours. And then I put out another one 2 weeks later. Sells out again. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like, I want to do this forever. Fast forward a couple months, every time I put out a new collection, it sells out, sells out, sells out all the time. People were buying from like Australia, New Zealand, Germany, Switzerland, like everywhere. It was absolutely insane. I put out a commercial campaign with some of my friends for my business, and that absolutely blew up also. I mean, as you can guess, I was working completely by myself. I was doing all the marketing, accounting, website design, website coding, creating all the stuff, buying inventory. So once the year ended in December, I burnt out. At the time, I was like, no, I can't give up on this because I've given up on like all these other things that I've been doing in the past. Like, this is what I'm meant to do. I have to keep going. So in 2021, I started sewing again, trying to do it in bulk, but I was so uninspired, and my videos, they were still blowing up, but it just didn't feel right anymore. I was starting to feel very forced. It didn't feel like something I enjoyed anymore. Sewing started to feel like a chore. I stopped sewing. I took a break just to refocus myself, recenter myself. I just started doing things I enjoyed again, like hiking, bike rides, exploring, jet skiing, all this like fun stuff, trying to figure out who I am and like what I want to do. So funny enough, this soccer academy reaches out to me and they're like, hey, we saw what you did with your business and how you grew it using TikTok and Instagram. Can we work with you? Can you create videos for us? Like, can you blow up our business? I was like, wait, did I like sewing or did I like creating videos? They had an interview with me and they were like, oh yeah, could you like blow up our videos? Like, can we have viral videos? I was like, yeah, easy. I can do that for you. I started working with them in July of 2021. The first videos that I put up for them went viral right away on TikTok. So I was like, okay, maybe what I'm actually good at is creating viral content. Like, maybe my purpose in life is to do social media marketing because it's such a new concept that isn't studied in school yet, but it's so important for all of these businesses. Every business needs to be on social media if they want to grow. So I quickly realized after working with the soccer academy for months and months and months, I'm still working with them now, they're my first client, but I realized that I love creating content and I have so many content ideas for so many different businesses. This is what I'm meant to do. 3 months into working with the soccer academy, I had to register this social media thing as its own business, but I still had my other business, so I decided to actually close it. At this point, my business existed, but I wasn't marketing it. I'm still not really marketing it because what happened was a lot of these other businesses saw this soccer academy grow, and by word of mouth, they found out that I was the one in charge of their social media accounts and all that. So then people were reaching out to me and they're like, can I work with you? Can you help manage my business? Can you teach me how to grow on social media? Basically, a lot of my clients were signed by word of mouth, and I've been doing coaching online, one-on-one. So that's how I've been doing most of my business so far. By the way, it's called Virality Management. You can see the website if you look in my bio, the link is there. I'm still working on the TikTok account and the Instagram account, so hopefully by the time you guys see this video, it's not as sketchy looking as it is right now. Now it is January 6th, 2022, and I love my life. I love my job. I'm never going to work in any other field again. I feel like this is what I'm meant to do. Little disclaimer, the way I became a social media manager is not the only way to become a social media manager. Everyone's journey to become a social media manager is completely different. Same goes for, you know, if you want to be like a filmmaker, a photographer, an influencer. Everyone gets there in their own way. Yeah, this was my little story time about my life, how I started doing what I'm doing. If you want to stay caught up with the clients I work with, or the projects that I'm doing, or the opportunities that arise with this career path, follow me on Instagram or TikTok. Everything is linked down below. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message on Instagram or to leave them down below in the comments. Also, when it comes to my future videos, I'm going to be talking about social media strategy, social media growth, how to be your own boss, all that fun stuff, because I truly believe that even if you're on the younger side, like still in your teen years or you're a young adult, it is 100% possible to be your own boss. Thank you for sitting down with me and watching this video. I had so much fun talking to you guys about basically my life. I hope that this video helped you feel less alone if you're also feeling confused about what you want to do with your future. Also, don't feel like you need to have everything figured out right away. You can figure it out at whatever age you are. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to keep up with my videos and learn more about social media growth and entrepreneurship. I'm gonna go make more tea. I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Bye!